Good morning, everyone. And the other side. And Lee circles. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And pink circles. And reverse. And reverse. and reverse. Blocks. Okay, you can put away your sticks. Head turns. And center, and head rolls. And down to center, and reverse. And down to center and back up. Forward spinal wave. and reverse. And good. The Qua. And reverse. And good. And reverse. And good. The windmill. And good. And squats, starting on the left leg. And then the right leg. And the left leg again. And the right leg again. And prayer position. Okay, hands on the knees, up slowly. Keep your head down a moment. Now, hopefully you can feel while we're doing this exercise. I'm going to start with this exercise. We're going to move on to some others that are closely related to it, but move in a different direction. I hope you can feel this is a whole body exercise. I can mark the Dan Chen. And the Tanzhong, right? The whole body, all the way from the bottom of the foot, right? It's a single spiral up the leg, around the waist, through the chest to the hand. Everything is spiraling. Okay, so if you look closely at this move, watch yourself inside. You should feel an axle that goes right through the body, right? And everything spirals around this axle, right? It's spiraling right through here, right? Spiraling, boom, okay? So it's a vertical axis straight up and down. Let's do another related exercise. And as you do this, watch inside and see if you can see where the axle is. We could do this left foot forward, right foot forward, or even, but let's do it left foot forward. Now I'm doing this with fists, but you could do this open-handed, or you can do it with fists. So, Catherine, can you feel where the axle is in the body? Give me a good guess.
Pressure is on. In this, the last one?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I would say
Yes.
it's here.
So the first axle was going straight up and down. Where is this axle going? All right. Watch. Spiral. 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 Right? Spiral. So the axle needs.
From here to there.
So
From,
front to back. Yes, there's a lot of that. Now, the truth is, none of these exercises are purely one thing or another. They include all three dimensions of the body, Li, Shu, and Ping. All right? But you could call this mainly Shu. So side to side. So the axle, you can imagine the axle going straight through the body, and you're unrolling around that axle. All right? The axle's here, you're unrolling around that axle. There's also a lot of axle going this direction. From the dantian to the tanjong out to the end of the fist. If you watch, you can see this.
That's what I would have guessed.
But there is a little of straightforward too, right? So when you do now, when I do it, I really work on the axle that goes this direction. So you can call that the Shu dimension, the side to side dimension. When you do this exercise, that's what you're exercising. You have to be aware of this, all right?
Well, you're also opening and closing the chest.
Yes, always, every single exercise, you're always opening and closing the chest. Because if you think of the chest as the key to the shoulders and the arms, it's always going to go from the dantian to the chest. So, Kevin, you are exactly right. And since this is the biggest, strongest joint in the body, that's a lot of what you're exercising, right? Lower back, center chest, lower back, center chest. In fact, my poor English translation of the Chinese, this exercise is called the open chest reel, right? It doesn't work if you just do it with your hands, because what you're doing is you're hitting somebody to the side. If you've done this for a long time, you can open the chest without even showing any to anybody, right? It's a very small, efficient movement. But the exercise to get there is this exercise and others similar to it. All right, so lower back, center chest, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. And then you coil back in. Uncoil. Coil. Uncoil. Coil. Uncoil, coil, uncoil, coil, uncoil. There are lots and lots of moves in the Tai Chi form that use this basic idea. So aside with those who know the form should know this one. So someone's hitting at you, you grab their arm and pull it across your body, boom, and then you punch them in the nose. If they block the punch to the nose, punch them in the crotch. If they block that, boom, get them in the ribs, right? But it's the same move, at least on this side. Right? This side actually is coiling too. This is an interesting move. Can show you how it works, and I don't mean to get bloodthirsty, but this is the guy's elbow. He goes to punch you, you grab it, and you pull it across your chest, and then you open your chest into his elbow. While you pull his elbow this way, your chest moves the other way. You break his arm at the elbow. Boom, right? That's the move. And look, spiral. It's all spiral. You can also throw him with this spiral. You put your elbow into his chest, right below the tanjong. And then you spiral it down while you trip him with your foot. Boom. All right? It's a good trick. I'll do it to Kevin sometime when he's up here, right? But the point of this exercise is from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head and out to the tips of your fingers, everything is spiraling. And then it spirals right back in, and it spirals open, and it spirals in, and you can do it very gently like this, or you can do it more vigorously like this. So this is the Ilu version of this, the soft practicing version of this. If you're actually going to do the martial version, you do exactly the same thing, but you sort of snap your fingers when you do it. All right? All you're doing is you're doing exactly the same spiral, but you snap the spiral. All right? You're not trying to, you know, in a lot of American movies like Westerns, they're all hitting each other and they're just trying to pound each other into the ground. That's not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is just snap them, right? The same way, the same way I get to snap my favorite little thing here, right? It always takes me two.
You know, every time you do that, you re-traumatize me from my childhood. My brother with the wet kitchen towel.
I remember being in the gym class in 7th grade in the locker room and snapping one of my friend's legs, and I drew blood with my wet towel. I'm sure he still thinks about that, right? Snap. You can do this very gently. Snap. Snap. Okay. Open, close. Open, close. All right? Where that's a full cycle, open and close. Which one is yin? Which one is yang? All right? Kevin, where's the yin? Where's the yang?
I get my vowels mixed up.
Young, yin, young.
Yang. Yang is expressive. When you're really going to belt out a song, right? That's yang, right? When you're going to be pinning.
Ah,
Yeah. When you're gathering energy to do that, that's yin. And then yang. And then yin. And then yang. That each of those pairs is a yin and yang cycle.
yin for little, the I. Little,
Little. Yang
little.
is open. It's big. Okay. So we've had one axle this way and one axle this way. That leaves one more dimension. So usually when we do this exercise, we do these, all right? And you can do them gently or vigorously. And then we do a final one that looks like this. I'll get it close to the camera so you can see, all right? Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, right? Now that axle is for a ping circle. You're going around the axle like this, just like you use your waist to go around. Now you're using your arms to go around. Open, close, open, close, open, close. The martial applications for this are varied. The defensive, imagine someone's got hold of your wrist. They're trying to hold on to your, a guy's got hold of my wrist, he's trying to hold on to it. If I just screw with him like this, I'm not going to get anywhere because it's just my arm against his arm. Instead, what you do is sort of relax your arm. In fact, you're probably going to bring your arm up a little bit at the shoulder and elbow, and then watch. Right? You're going to spiral your arm down. That will usually break his hold, right? Especially if you start by going up. Because when you start by going up, he's going to grab harder, and then suddenly you go down. All right? That's one. The other one is just a shot to the crotch, right? From the waist. Shift your weight. Turn your waist. Spiral your arm. It's a single spiral. It's a single spiral from the bottom of this foot all the way up and all the way down. Okay, when we do this final one, and we'll end with this, it's sort of traditional to use a little bit more energy, so we usually do a set of 9 or 12 Elu, and then we do a set of 9 or 12 Erlu. So it would look like this. Follow me. Whole body. Ankles, knees, hips, spine, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Okay, those are the soft ones. Then we do the hard ones. So you have to get to the place where you can snap comfortably to do that. The key to that, really, every joint is working, but the key is the relationship between the Dan Qian and the Tan Zhuang. Exactly what Kevin just pointed out. Watch. Watch the relationship between these two. You're closing that joint, you're opening that joint. You're closing that joint, you're opening that joint. That's what you focus on. The rest of it just happens naturally. So it's kind of fun to what you normally do when you do silk reeling is most of it's the softer version, but then you throw a little of the snappy stuff in there just so that you look really cool. Okay, guys. All right. Salute our masters. Salute your classmates. Guys, have a great day. We'll pick it up there tomorrow. Ciao.